A young woman, deemed unintelligent and a waste of money by her own parents, was denied the opportunity to go to college. Her parents believed it would be better to arrange her marriage to an attorney so her life could improve, but she refused the proposal, and for that, they disowned her. 10 years later, she arrived at a family reunion driving a luxury car, stunning all her relatives. What happened in the decade that changed everything? Let's follow the riveting story of Claire Dawson, the youngest of 4 siblings, as we unravel her journey. Claire had just turned 18 and was preparing to enter college. She was the baby of the Dawson family, raised in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Charleston, South Carolina. But one day when she came home from school, she overheard her older brother talking and was shocked to learn that her parents no longer intended to support her education. "Mom, is it true what I heard from Derek?" she asked, standing at the entrance of their living room. "You're not going to send me to college?" Her parents, Michael and Diane Dawson, were sitting on the sofa, casually sipping herbal tea. Diane gently set her teacup down on the center table and looked up. "So your brother told you already?" she said flatly, without a hint of apology in her voice. Her brow was slightly raised, as if annoyed that the secret had gotten out. "I specifically told him not to say anything," Michael muttered. "That boy just doesn't know when to keep quiet." "But why?" Claire asked, her voice cracking. "You know I've always had big dreams. Why are you funding my siblings' education but not mine? That's not fair at all." Michael responded in a measured tone. "Claire, finishing high school is already enough. Not going to college won't ruin your life." "But I want to go to college. I want to major in arts and literature." Michael's face hardened. "So you want us to waste money on a useless degree? Look at your sisters. Both are in law school. Derek is studying medicine. And you want to take a course that won't pay the bills." Diane chimed in. "If you're truly talented in writing or literature, you can still make it without a degree. Not everyone in the arts has a formal education." "But Mum, that's what I want to do," Claire pleaded. "Can't you trust me, just this once?" "Trust you?" Michael snapped. "With your grades, you barely pass your classes. You're the only one among your siblings who didn't make honor roll, not even once. We're disappointed in you, Claire." "So that's what this is about? My grades? You think I'm dumb, don't you?" she said, her voice rising in pain. "Just because I don't get top marks like my siblings, you think I'm a failure?" "You said it, not us," Michael shot back. "Don't turn this around like we're insulting you." Claire took a deep breath. "If I take another major, would you reconsider?" Her parents exchanged a glance. "No," Michael said coldly. "Even if you pick something else, our decision stands." Claire's voice cracked as she fought back tears. "Then it's not about the course. You just don't believe in me." Diane stood up, fuming. "You want the truth? Fine. Maybe we do think you're stupid. We never said it out loud, but if we did think that, at least we have reasons." Claire flinched. "I just wanted to be supported." Michael's voice was now stern. "That's enough. Go to your room before this conversation gets uglier." Claire stormed upstairs to her bedroom. The second-floor walls muffled her sobs as she crumpled on her bed, tears soaking her pillow. She didn't want to hate them. She just wanted their support. But deep down, she understood their mindset. To her parents, sending a child to college was an investment, one they expected a return on. She believed that wasn't parenting, that was business. Parents should raise and educate their children because it's their responsibility, not because they expect payback. The realization crushed her. Among all her siblings, she was the only one treated like she wasn't worth the cost of an education. She began to wonder if she was even their real daughter. Maybe she was adopted. Maybe that's why they found it so easy to give up on her. She decided to stay calm. Letting her emotions take over wouldn't solve anything. The next morning, the family sat down for breakfast. Claire's oldest sister, Karen, was now a fully licensed attorney at age 25. The second eldest, Erica, 23, was in her final year of law school. Their brother, Aaron, was in medical school. "Claire," Karen began sharply, "Mum and Dad told us you made a scene when you found out they're not paying for your college. Don't you think you're overreacting?" Erica nodded in agreement. "Yeah. I mean, let's be real. Your grades have always been low. From elementary to now, you've just scraped by. You're lucky they even paid for your high school." Claire's heart sank. She knew they weren't lying, but the words still hurt. "All they ever asked was for you to at least get decent grades," Erica continued, "but even that was too much." Claire looked down at her plate, humiliated. Aaron spoke up next. "Honestly, they have a point. You need to prove you deserve a college education, Claire." She replied, "Every child deserves an education. That's the bare minimum a parent should provide, from elementary through college, and they can afford it. It's not about the money, they just don't want to do it for me." Diane's eyes flared. "Bare minimum? Who do you think you are? You should be thankful we paid for your senior high. Like Erica said, we didn't even have to do that. We just gave you a second chance, thinking maybe you'd improve your grades." Michael slammed his fork on the table. "You get the same food, the same vitamins, the same everything as your siblings. How are we falling short?" Claire's eyes stung. Her own mother had just called her stupid. She didn't even have the strength to cry. Her chest ached, but her tears wouldn't fall. "Claire," Diane said icily, "don't say another word. The more you argue, the more you provoke us to say things you'll regret hearing. Just accept our decision." Erica turned to her. "So what are you going to do after you graduate high school?" "I don't know yet," Diane answered for her. "She's pretty. Maybe we can marry her off to Matthew Kingsley's son. He's an attorney too. That way she'll have a future. These days, if you're not smart, marry someone rich." "You heard that, Claire," Michael added. "So don't be stubborn. You're ruining our breakfast." "Really?" Erica said, smirking. "You've got no one to blame but yourself. You're a fool." "Come on," Michael said. "Hurry up or you'll be late to school. You can at least earn points for attendance since your grades won't carry you." Claire left the table without finishing her meal. She rushed to her room, crying silently, then washed her face and headed to school. She was in her senior year. At her desk in the classroom, she stared blankly ahead, the morning's words ringing in her ears. Her parents weren't wrong. She was never the smartest student. Her grades were average at best. Unlike her siblings who had perfect records, she struggled with every subject. But she tried. She gave it her all. School just didn't suit her. Where she truly shined was in writing, stories, and poetry. In fact, she had received several recognitions for her work. But every time she showed her parents those awards, she could feel their disappointment. To them, her accomplishments meant nothing. It was the one thing she was good at, and they didn't even appreciate it. Her best friend and seatmate, Alexis, noticed the sorrow on her face. "Hey, Claire, what's wrong? You're totally spaced out again." "It's nothing." "Nothing? You look like the world just ended. Spill." Claire sighed. "I have bad news." "How bad are we talking? Do I need to brace myself?" "Pretty bad. My parents said they're not sending me to college. They say my grades are too low, not good enough for their standards." "Oh my God, but your grades aren't even that bad," Alexis replied. "Your parents are being harsh. My siblings all average between 95 and 98. I only average around 80. Compared to them, I don't stand a chance." "So what now? What are you going to do?" Claire looked down at her hands. "I guess this means I have to figure things out on my own. Maybe this is the sign I've been waiting for, to stop depending on them." "Well, if there's a will, there's a way. Whatever you decide, I support you." "Thanks. Same goes for you. Months passed, and graduation day finally arrived for Claire. Hey, where are your parents? Alexis asked as they stood in line, waiting for their turn to walk across the stage. They're not coming. They said they're busy. What about your siblings? Are they walking with you? Nope, they're busy too. Seriously, wow. I don't even know what to say. As Claire watched other students walk the stage with their proud parents, she couldn't help but feel the sting of envy. She forced a smile to show she was okay, but deep down, her heart was breaking. The night before, she had reminded her parents about the graduation ceremony and how important it was to have someone accompany her on stage. They brushed her off, saying they had an important reunion with friends. She didn't believe them. She knew they just didn't care. She didn't insist. If they don't want to, then I won't force it, she told herself. When her name was called, Claire walked the stage alone. She accepted her diploma from a teacher with trembling hands. The pitying looks from others stung even more. After the ceremony, she went to the restroom and cried, just for a moment. Then she washed her face. This is supposed to be a happy day, she reminded herself. Don't let it ruin everything. When she got home, she was still holding on to hope that there would be some kind of celebration. Her father had promised one. But there was nothing. No visitors, no food, no balloons, not even a cake. Mum, I thought we were going to have a little party today, Claire asked in confusion. We were going to, Diane replied, but we didn't want to embarrass ourselves. Embarrass yourselves? How? Well, what if guests asked what honors you got, and I said none? What would that make us look like? I thought the same thing, Michael added, so we just decided not to do anything. Oh, here, Diane said, handing Claire a $50 bill. Buy yourself something. Claire accepted it silently. Aren't you coming with me at least? She asked. No, Diane said. Our stomachs are upset. Must have been the food from the neighbor. Probably spoiled. What about Karen and Aaron? Definitely not. You know how busy they are, not like you. And just like that, Claire accepted that her family would never be proud of her, no matter what she did. She retreated to her room and cried again. Later, she opened Facebook and saw her classmates' posts. All of them were celebrating their graduations with their families. Fancy meals, congratulatory captions, smiling photos with parents and siblings. Meanwhile, she was alone, weeping quietly in her room. She hadn't eaten since before the ceremony. 6 hours had passed, and her stomach growled. She had hoped to make some memories with her family that day. It was, after all, her last graduation. College wasn't guaranteed, but since no one wanted to celebrate with her, she ordered takeout and ate alone in her room. In the days that followed, Claire began searching for affordable colleges where she could study the course she truly wanted. But every public college she checked either didn't offer the program or was out of reach in other ways. She finally sat down with Alexis, who visited her at home one afternoon. What if you take a different course, Claire? Alexis suggested, after hearing everything. I don't want another course, Claire replied firmly. I don't want to study something just for the sake of finishing college. I want to do something I know I'll enjoy, something that makes me feel alive. Well, then it looks like you're really going to have to take a break from school, Alexis said, sighing. You can't afford the schools that offer what you want. You've got no choice but to stop for now. But hey, you could apply at a call center. They accept high school grads. If your English is good, you'll get in. I mean, I am pretty fluent. There you go. You'll earn good money fast. In a few years, you'll have enough saved up. How long do you think I'd be out of school? You're only 18. Let's say you stop for 5 years. You'll be 23 when you go back. If your course is 4 years, you'll graduate by 27 or 28. Claire's shoulders slumped. Feels like I have no choice. Hey, look, even if you're not in college, you can still write. Attend writing workshops, read online, practice your craft. You're a great writer, Claire. I'm a fan of your stories on WritePad. Remember, you already have 20,000 followers. I actually just started writing a new one, Claire admitted. I hope it becomes successful, maybe even gets turned into a book or a movie someday. And when that happens, girl, you're going to be a millionaire. I know it. Thanks, Lex. Honestly, if it weren't for your support, I might have quit writing a long time ago. Hey, what are you talking about? You've got 20,000 fans. You're already ahead of the game. Claire smiled weakly. The next morning, at breakfast, her family was gathered at the table. Claire, Erica asked as she sipped her coffee, so what's your plan now that you've graduated? Well, Claire said carefully, I'm thinking of taking a break from school and applying for a job at a call center. I heard the pay's pretty good. Maybe I'll stop for about 5 years, save up, and then continue college when I've got enough. If I have to work part-time jobs on the side, I will. And what will you study when you return? Karen asked. Still arts and literature. You still haven't given up on that dream, huh? Karen scoffed. No, I haven't. Whatever, Michael said, setting down his cup. It's your life. Just don't ask us for anything. Got it? Claire nodded silently. Diane shook her head. You really don't know how to make good decisions. That writing hobby of yours? It's a waste of time. You'll never get rich off that. That's not my goal, Mom, Claire replied. I don't want to live just for money. I want to live doing what I love. Karen rolled her eyes. You say that now because you don't understand how hard life is. Wait until you're really out there on your own, struggling to make ends meet. Then you'll understand everything we told you. Exactly, Diane said. You're free now. Do what you want. But your father and I, we're done with our responsibilities. You're on your own. I never said I don't need money, Claire replied calmly. I just don't want it to be the only thing that defines my life. What good is money if I'm miserable doing something I hate? There it is again, Erica snapped. You haven't accomplished anything in life, yet all you talk about is doing what makes you happy. Will you still be happy when you have no money? You just don't get it. Claire, stop, Michael said. It's too early in the morning to argue. Yeah, added Erica. Go work at a call center. That's about the best you can do. Even if you graduate college someday, with your grades, you'll still end up there. So might as well start now and stop wasting time. Claire clenched her fists under the table, but said nothing. She was burning inside, but she chose to stay respectful. Aaron spoke next, trying to lighten the mood. Hey, what about the son of the Kingsley family? He's interested in you. Oh, right, Michael chimed in. Claire, come with us tonight. We're having dinner with them. They invited us to formally introduce you to their son, Julian Kingsley. Let me guess, Claire said coldly. This is about that arranged marriage you're trying to set up? It's not an arranged marriage, Diane replied. You'll just meet him. Once you get to know him, I'm sure you'll like him. And if I don't? Erica smirked. Oh, please, Claire. You're the one turning him down. He's a respected lawyer, handsome, rich, and has a massive following on social media. And you? You barely finished high school and are applying at call centers, and you have the nerve to reject him? If you like him that much, Claire shot back, why don't you marry him? The room went silent. Enraged, Erica grabbed a glass of water and splashed it in Claire's face. You're so rude, Erica snapped. That's enough, Michael barked. No fighting at the table. Claire stared daggers at her sister. If she weren't older, she might have thrown water back, but she held back, stood up, and walked away. She returned to her room in silence. At around 3 p.m., Claire heard a knock on her bedroom door. Claire, we're leaving soon, her mother called out from the hallway. She opened the door to find Diane dressed to the nines. Is this about that arranged marriage again? We already told you, Diane said, irritated. It's not an arranged marriage. You're just meeting the guy. You'll like him. Claire sighed deeply. She gave in, not because she was convinced, but because she was curious. She went with her parents to a fine dining restaurant, where she was introduced to Julian, the man they wanted her to marry. His parents couldn't make it, so he came alone. Her first impression? He was handsome and well-mannered. Dressed in a polished suit, Julian looked every inch the successful man her parents had described. They all sat and talked politely. Eventually, Claire's parents excused themselves to give them time alone. Julian and Claire chatted for a while, and things were going fine, until he raised his hand and called out, "Waiter!" The waiter, currently attending another table, signaled for a moment. After 2 minutes, the waiter came over. "Yes, sir?" "I've been calling you. What took so long?" Julian snapped. "I was helping another table, sir. I apologize." "Just get us some cold water, and hurry. You've already wasted our time." Claire's stomach twisted. Julian's tone was sharp, rude, a complete shift from the gentle man she had seen moments before, and just like that, her interest vanished. "So," Julian said, turning back to her, "where do you want to go after we eat?" "Julian," Claire said, sitting up straighter, "I'm sorry, but the truth is, I don't like you. I only came because my parents insisted. I don't want to waste your time." She stood up. "Wait," Julian said, surprised. "That's not what I discussed with your parents." "I know, they're trying to force me into marrying you, but I'm not going along with that. I didn't agree to any of this." "Can't you at least try to understand? My family gave your parents $100,000 already." "What?" Claire's eyes widened. "You gave them money? That makes me feel like I was sold." "It's normal," Julian said flatly. "Like a dowry." "Well, you shouldn't have. Because there's not going to be a wedding. You should have asked me first before making any deals. Otherwise, it's forced marriage, and that's not something I'll ever accept." With that, Claire walked out. When she got home, she was greeted by a slap across the face, delivered by her mother. "What was that for?" Claire asked, stunned. "You walked out on Julian? You rejected him, after everything?" Claire held her burning cheek. "So that's why you hit me?" "Yes, you embarrassed us." Michael glared. "Who do you think you are, Claire, to have the nerve to reject someone like him? Do I need to be someone special to say no to a man? Yes, you need to be successful to even think of turning someone like him down. And you're not. Then give him back the money." "We can't," Diane said. "You're marrying him. That's the only way your life is going to improve." "I don't need him. I can take care of myself." "Listen to us, Claire. You want to go to college, right? Well, if you marry Julian, he'll pay for it." "I don't want to marry him. He's arrogant and disrespectful. If you like him so much, why not have Erica marry him? She's going to be a lawyer anyway, and she seems to like him." "If you won't marry him," Diane warned, "then get out of this house. You're no longer our daughter." Claire stared at her, speechless. "You don't love me," she whispered. "Am I not your real child?" "Love?" Michael scoffed. "How can we love someone who can't even get her life together? You failed in school. You wasted the education we gave you." "Do I need to pay you back for raising me? Isn't that your responsibility?" Michael slapped her. "You're ungrateful. Get out of this house and forget we were ever your parents. From now on, don't ever ask us for anything again. And don't call us Mom and Dad." Tears welled in Claire's eyes. She felt broken, but rather than argue further, she quietly packed her things and left. She didn't say goodbye. She called Alexis and explained everything. Without hesitation, Alexis opened her home to her. Claire arrived with 2 suitcases and a backpack. She cried in Alexis's room for hours, releasing the pain that had built up inside her. At least she had one person who cared. Alexis let Claire stay in her room. The very next day, Claire wasted no time. She began applying for jobs. She tried multiple call center companies. Though she passed the initial interviews and assessments, she repeatedly failed the final interviews. Still, she didn't give up. Failure was not an option for her. After several attempts, she was finally hired. The job was tough at first. Every task felt new and overwhelming, but that was normal. Every beginning was hard. Claire remained determined. She knew she had to endure the learning curve if she wanted to make things easier later on. When she received her first paycheck, she gave half of it to Alexis's family to help with electricity, water, and groceries. Alexis's parents were kind to her, treating her like their own daughter. They became her new family after her real one disowned her. One day, Claire and Alexis went to the mall to buy outfits for an upcoming get-together with their high school friends. That's when they bumped into Erica. To Claire's surprise, Erica was holding hands with Julian. "Well, look who it is," Erica said with a smirk. "How's life after getting kicked out by Mom and Dad?" Claire kept her cool. "It's going fine, Erica." "Good to hear. Oh, by the way, Julian and I are together now. Thanks for rejecting him, by the way. If you hadn't, I wouldn't have had this wonderful relationship. Appreciate it." Julian added smugly. "You must regret it now, huh? You could have had this glamorous life, but you blew it." Claire stood tall. "I'm glad you're both happy, but no, I don't regret anything. I stand by my decision." "You're so clueless, Claire," Erica said. "No wonder you never got high grades. You don't use your brain." 10 years from now," Erica went on, "you'll come crawling back to us, begging to be part of the family again, and that's okay. We'll keep the door open for you, especially for Mom and Dad's sake." "No thanks," Claire replied calmly. "I haven't done anything wrong. I don't need anyone's forgiveness. I'll be successful on my own, without anyone's money." "Let's make a bet," Erica said. "In 10 years, let's see who becomes successful first. Who builds a fancy house, buys multiple cars, starts businesses, travels the world, and has a happy family. If you beat me, I'll admit I was wrong and apologize, but if I beat you, you'll kneel in front of me and say sorry." Claire's face remained calm. "I'm not here to compete with you. My only competition is myself. If you succeed before me, I'll be happy for you. I won't feel insecure. But if I succeed first, that's great for me. I have nothing to prove to you, or to anyone else." With that, Claire turned and walked away. Alexis followed closely behind. Claire's hands trembled. She hadn't expected a confrontation like that with her sister. She never wanted bad blood between them. But Erica had clearly gone out of her way to provoke her. "Your sister's a real piece of work," Alexis muttered. "She's the worst, always sucking up to your parents. Let's stop talking about her before I say something I'll regret." "Girl, you better succeed in life," Alexis continued. "You need to prove her wrong." "Thanks, Lex. I appreciate the support, but I'm not doing it to prove anything to her. I'm not giving myself a deadline either. She gave me 10 years, but life doesn't end in 10 years. I won't let her pressure me." "That's the right mindset," Alexis agreed. "Still, it's crazy how good-looking Julian actually is. He's got charisma." "Yeah, he's good-looking and educated," Claire said. "But personality-wise, no substance. He was nice to us but rude to a waiter. That was a red flag for me." "Oh, totally. It's all about values. You were right to walk away." "I just couldn't marry someone like that." "Still," Alexis said, "you've got to show them all that they were wrong about you. I feel like you're the lead in a story, and I'm the supportive best friend." Claire laughed. Years passed. Claire had believed she could save enough in 5 years to go back to college, but that didn't happen. Inflation worsened year after year, and the rising costs of goods, utilities, and rent kept eating away at her income. Her plan to return to school kept getting pushed back. One day, while scrolling through Facebook, she stumbled upon photos from Julian and Erica's wedding. It had taken place at a luxury resort and included every member of their extended family, except her. She hadn't been invited. It made her stop and think. Were her parents right all along? Was life really impossible without money? Should she have swallowed her pride and just accepted Julian back then? If she had, would she have graduated college by now? Would her life be better? Tears welled in her eyes. It felt like life kept denying her the chance to grow. "Hey, why are you crying?" Alexis asked as she walked into the room. Claire quickly wiped her face. "It's nothing. I saw you looking at Julian and Erica's wedding pics. Regretting the past?" Claire took a deep breath. "Maybe just a little. I'm not really sure how I feel." Alexis sat beside her. "You know what I think? I think this is about that challenge Erica made years ago. You said you didn't care about it, but deep down, I think you want to prove her wrong, and that's okay." "Maybe you're right," Claire admitted. "I just don't want to say it out loud. But yeah, there's pride in me that wants to succeed first." That's totally normal. Anyone who gets challenged like that would feel the same. But remember, she gave you 10 years. It's not over yet. She hasn't bought a mansion. They just have a condo and a car. No businesses yet. Haven't traveled that much either. They're still focused on their law careers. Exactly. So it's not like she's won. And even if she gets ahead, you're only 23. Everyone has their own timing. Don't rush. Claire smiled. "Thanks for the wisdom, Lex. You're like Aristotle with better eyebrows." They both laughed. A year later, Claire was shocked to receive an invitation to Julian and Erica's child's first birthday. "Lex, should I go or not?" she asked, torn. "Go," Alexis said. "Maybe it's a chance to make peace with your family. Who knows?" "I don't know. I've got a bad feeling about it, like something shady's going on." "Oh, come on. They're not going to kill you or anything." "Still, I'll think about it." After weighing her options, Claire decided to go. It had been 6 years since she last saw them. Maybe they had changed. The party was held in her parents' backyard. There were lots of guests, some familiar, some not. Decorations were up, tables set, food laid out. "Isn't that Diane and Michael's youngest?" she heard one guest whisper. "Yeah, that's her. She's the one who rejected Julian, remember?" "Oh, right. Didn't she drop out of school? I heard she ran away and never went to college." "Yep. Unlike her siblings, who all graduated with honors. Diane used to brag so much about them, but I never heard her mention Claire." Claire heard every word, but she kept walking, pretending not to care, though her chest tightened. She found Erica and Julian near the front. Karen and Aaron were off to the side. Her parents were chatting with other guests. "Congratulations, Erica. Happy birthday to your son," Claire said with a smile. Erica raised an eyebrow. "Why are you here?" Claire was surprised. "What do you mean? I got an invitation." "Are you sure? Or are you just trying to force a reunion? Can't handle being alone anymore?" Claire was about to respond when Diane walked up. "Oh, Claire, you made it. Long time no see," she said, voice dripping with sarcasm. Despite the bitterness, Claire stayed calm. "How are you, Mom?" "We're doing fine. I won't ask about you. I'm sure things aren't great. Living with a friend, making less than $30,000 a month. Doesn't sound like success to me." Claire saw through the tone. This wasn't a mother making peace. It was someone rubbing salt in a wound. "I'm actually doing okay, Mom," Claire said firmly. "It's okay to admit you're not," Diane said smugly. "Look at Erica. She's doing amazing with Julian. That could have been you." "Mum, were you the one who invited me?" "Yes, of course. You're still family, even if you ran away." "I didn't run away. You kicked me out." That's beside the point. I just wanted you to see what you missed. Erica, say thank you to Claire for giving you this life." Erica smirked. "Thanks, Claire. Everything happens for a reason, right? And now that you're here, you can go." No one offered her food, not even a seat. They couldn't even treat her like a guest. "I can't believe how you're treating me like garbage," Claire said softly. "One day, you'll regret this. I will be successful, and when that day comes, you'll remember how you treated me." Diane laughed. "Oh, you're still funny, Claire. You think you'll succeed. The only way you'll ever get rich is by marrying someone wealthy, and we all know that's not happening, not with your principles." "I really pity you," Erica added. Claire turned toward the exit. "Is there anything else you'd like to say before I go?" "Nothing worth saying," Diane replied. "You never listen anyway." "I came here hoping we could fix things, but I see now that was a mistake." She walked out, holding back her tears, but the moment she stepped away from the crowd, they came rushing out. Everyone stared as she wept, but she didn't care. The pain of being humiliated by your own family was unlike anything else. It broke something deep inside her. That moment of heartbreak only made Claire more determined. She poured herself into her work. She picked up extra gigs, live selling online, odd jobs, anything she could do to earn more. It wasn't easy. Every day was exhausting. Then one day, she began noticing more comments on her WritePad account. Unbeknownst to her, one of her stories had exploded in popularity. "Claire, when are you going to finish your story?" Alexis asked one evening as they prepared for bed. "Do you even know it's trending on Twitter?" "Huh? Trending?" "Yes, it's got 5 million reads. Didn't you check?" "I've been so busy with work and side hustles, I haven't even logged in lately." "Well, you better check your WritePad. It's blowing up. Readers are demanding a new chapter. Your story all day is a hit." Claire quickly opened her account and was overwhelmed. Her inbox was flooded with comments and fan messages. The last time she checked, the story had just 20,000 reads. Now it had skyrocketed to 5 million, and it wasn't even finished. Motivated by the support, Claire began carving out time to write again, even during her busiest days. Within a week, she finished the novel. Soon, publishing offers came pouring in from multiple companies. 2 weeks after signing a contract, her debut book hit bookstores nationwide. It became a bestseller, and she earned her first major income from her writing. Suddenly, she was a literary celebrity. Book signings followed, paid by the publishing company. Her first big paycheck was $1,000. She used part of it to open a milk tea shop under Alexis's house, which Alexis's parents helped manage. The rest she used to enroll in her dream college program. But that wasn't all. One day, she received an email from Netflix. They wanted to purchase the adaptation rights to her novel for a live-action series. It was a dream come true. Claire signed the contract immediately. She even joined the scriptwriting team and helped choose the cast. Production for the 6-episode adaptation began quickly. 2 years later, the show launched on Netflix. It topped the streaming charts, not just in the US, but also in Japan, Saudi Arabia, Germany, and Australia. The show's success boosted book sales around the world. All Day was translated into multiple languages. Claire had now earned over $20 million from just one story. She didn't waste any of it. At 28, Claire established her own publishing company, starting with her own works. Readers eagerly awaited her next releases. Her team expanded, bringing in editors and writers. Soon, more of her novels were adapted for screen. One was bought by Star Media and starred major Hollywood actors. Another was picked up by a studio for the New York Film Festival. Most of all, Claire finally earned her college degree in the field she loved. She was proud of herself, not because she was rich, but because she did it all on her own. She had no desire to flaunt her success to her family. not unless they tried to degrade her again. She didn't want revenge, she just wanted peace. One day, Claire brought Alexis and her family on a vacation to the Florida Keys. She paid for everything. While they relaxed at the beach, Alexis's mum asked, "Claire, how's your family doing?" "I don't really know, Auntie. They seem okay, at least based on their social media posts." "You know," Alexis's mum continued, "I remember that challenge your sister made. Do you think she succeeded before you?" "I honestly don't know, Auntie. I'm not sure they even post everything that's happening in their lives. Maybe she did beat me, or maybe not. I don't really check anymore." "Well, if they find out how successful you are now, I bet they'll come running. You're a multimillionaire at 28. And to think, the one they used to belittle turned out richer than all her siblings." "That's life," Alexis's dad chimed in. "God really does lift up the ones others try to bring down." "If I were you," Alexis's mom added, "I'd go back and throw it in their faces. Show them your diploma and say, 'Look, I did it without your help.'" Claire laughed softly. "Funny you say that. My cousin told me my aunt is organizing a family reunion. She's one of the few who stayed in touch after I was kicked out." "Are you going?" Alexis asked. "I'm thinking about it, but it might be awkward. What if nothing's changed?" "You know," Alexis's mum said, "I'm a mother too. Sometimes it's just pride, but I'm sure deep down your parents still care." "You might be right, Auntie. I'll give it a try." The next day, Claire received a message from her cousin with the time, date, and location of the reunion. She promised to come, but asked her cousin to keep it a secret from her immediate family. She and Alexis went to the mall to buy a new outfit and gifts for her family. "What are you wearing to the reunion?" Alexis asked, inspecting Claire's choice. "This," Claire said, holding up a simple dress. "That's too basic. You haven't seen them in years. You need to make a statement." "I don't want to draw attention. I'm not trying to be the star of the show." "You're no fun," Claire chuckled. "You want to wear the flashy dress instead?" They both laughed. "Are you really planning to give them gifts?" Alexis asked more seriously. "Yes, maybe it'll soften their hearts. You don't need to win them over, but if it makes you feel better, I support you." Claire bought a luxury watch for her dad, expensive shoes for Aaron, a designer bag for Karen, a gold necklace for Erica, and high-end perfume for her mom. She also picked up gifts for her aunt and cousin. At the register, she asked the staff to gift wrap everything. That night, she couldn't sleep. She was nervous but hopeful. The next day, she arrived in her luxury car, gifts in hand. No one noticed her pull up. She rang the doorbell and was let in by a housekeeper working for her Aunt Barbara. The event was held in the backyard. Balloons, decorations, tables, food. Around 50 people were already there. As she walked in, all eyes turned toward her. She was the last to arrive. Aunt Barbara approached her. "Oh, honey, long time no see." They hugged and exchanged greetings. "I brought some gifts," Claire said, holding up the bags. "My goodness, you didn't have to, but thank you, that's a lot. They're for Mom, Dad, my siblings, and a few others." She set the gifts on the table. Unbeknownst to everyone, Claire was the wealthiest person there. Soon after, Claire's immediate family approached. "Well, well," Diane said with a smirk. "Didn't expect you could still afford to show up at a family reunion." Hearing her mother's sarcastic tone, Claire realized nothing had changed. Whatever hope she had of reconciliation began to fade. "Of course I came. Aunt Barbara invited me." "Still going strong with Julian?" Erica chimed in, wrapping her arm around his. Claire smiled politely. "Good to hear. Not that I asked." "So," Diane said, "we heard you brought us gifts. Mind if we see them?" "Sure," Claire replied, handing them out one by one. This is for you, Mum. That one's for you, Dad. This one's for you, Karen, Aaron, Erica, and this one's for Aunt Barbara and my cousin. One by one, they opened their gifts. Wow, perfume, Diane said, spraying it into the air. Wait a minute, isn't this the one that costs $1,000? Are you saying this is real? Yes, Mum. I remember you mentioned liking that scent. Diane gave it another whiff, then scoffed. Doesn't smell that strong. Must be fake. Claire said nothing. She knew her mother's reaction had nothing to do with the scent. It was pure judgment. Karen and Aaron opened theirs and were both surprised. Damn, this is nice, Aaron said, examining the shoes. How much did you spend on these? 50 grand, Claire replied casually. 50 grand? On shoes? Her father repeated. Yeah, they're original. Wait, Karen said, holding up the designer bag. This looks like a real Louis Vuitton. It is. No way. You know how much this costs? That would have set you back over $2,000. It's real, Claire said again. Diane grabbed the bag and inspected it. It looked genuine, but she wasn't ready to believe it. There's no way this is authentic. Karen, you're a lawyer. You should be able to tell. That's definitely a fake. Mom, I can tell. It's original, Karen insisted. Diane wasn't convinced. Let me see it. She examined the bag more closely. It still looked real, but she couldn't admit that. Nope, not authentic. And even if it were, I'd be more impressed if you were honest about how much you paid. We didn't raise a liar, Claire. Erica was studying her necklace in silence. It was unmistakably real gold. She knew it, but she didn't say a word. She just clenched her jaw. I agree, Erica finally said. You should have been honest about how much your gifts cost. It's rude to exaggerate. Claire stayed calm. You asked. I answered. If you don't believe me, that's not my problem. Well, Diane said, waving her off. Doesn't matter what they cost. Then she asked, So, how many kids do you have? What does your husband do? Did you meet him at the call center? Are you still working there? Claire immediately sensed the setup. They were trying to bait her, hoping to shame her. No, I'm no longer working there. Before she could say more, Erica cut in. Well, I've started several businesses already, traveled to different countries, got a happy family, property, a car. Remember that challenge I gave you? You haven't forgotten about that, huh? Claire said. I'm sure you're bitter. You can't stand that I succeeded first. Look at what you're wearing, so plain. You disappear for years and this is how you show up? I like what I'm wearing, Claire replied. If you don't, that's on you. I came here not to reignite old issues, but to settle them. Clearly you haven't moved on. Then Claire reached into her bag and pulled out her diploma. By the way, I finished college. I didn't rely on anyone's money, not even a man's. I'm proud of that. Her family stared. Fake, Diane muttered. You're still the same, Claire. Claire sighed. She was tired of explaining herself. Then one of Aunt Barbara's kids ran into the room. Mum, whose fancy car is that outside? There's a car outside, Barbara asked. Yes, but no one's claiming it. It's mine, Auntie, Claire said. Sorry I parked without asking. Wait, that's your car? Barbara asked. You bought that? Yes. Claire, Michael asked, eyes wide. How much did that thing cost? It's expensive, but I don't think I need to say the exact amount. What matters is, it's mine. Be honest, Diane said sharply. Are you doing something illegal? That's the only way you could afford that. I agree, Julian added. Based on the model and brand, that thing costs at least $100,000. Claire exhaled. Enough was enough. I'm not involved in anything illegal, she said. I'm the CEO of my own publishing company. You know that Netflix series All Day? I wrote the novel. That's how I made my money. Everyone fell silent. Auntie, Claire continued, turning to Barbara. I heard from my cousin that your family's in serious debt. I actually brought something for you. She handed her a small bag. Thank you so much, Claire, Barbara said warmly, accepting it. You're welcome. Claire turned and left. Once she was gone, Barbara opened the bag and was stunned by the cash inside. Diane caught a glimpse. My God, how much is that? She asked. Don't ask, Barbara said. I'm paying off the debt. After the reunion, Claire's family returned home. They gathered in the living room and began discussing what had just happened. Someone opened a laptop and searched online to confirm Claire's claim. Sure enough, there it was, her name listed as the author of the hit Netflix series All Day. Her face appeared in interviews, articles, and press releases. She was telling the truth. Each family member began to feel a wave of guilt. The daughter they once dismissed had now become far more successful than any of them. Call her, Diane said. Tell her to come back. We need to talk. What are we going to talk about? Karen asked. She's rich now, Diane answered. She has to return to us. Do you really think she'll come back? Karen replied. After everything we did to her, you treated her like she was nothing. We have to try, Diane insisted. Just reach out. I don't think that's a good idea, Aaron said. Let her enjoy her life. It's embarrassing to act like we care now that she's wealthy. I agree, Julian added. It's a bit shameless. I'm her mother, Diane snapped. I have a right to whatever blessings she has now. Tell her I'm sorry. I'm sure her heart will soften. Just be honest, Aaron said. What do you really want from her? Her money, Diane admitted. What else? I need her help. Unbelievable, Karen muttered. You're only reaching out to ask for money? You should be ashamed. Then you do it, Diane snapped. You all do it. Meanwhile, Erica sat in silence. She couldn't bring herself to say anything. Instead of feeling happy for her sister, she felt jealous. Deep down, she had always wanted to be the most successful. Seeing Claire surpass her wounded her pride. When Diane was finally alone, she picked up the phone and called Claire. Hello, sweetie. Yes, Mom? Congratulations on everything. I'm really proud of what you've achieved. Claire felt a lump in her throat. She had waited years to hear those words, but something felt off. There was no warmth behind them. Thanks, Mom. I was wondering. Diane hesitated, then continued. Can you maybe give us a little help? Just a small portion, a bit of support. Claire's heart dropped. This was what it was about. I'll try, she replied gently. But my finances are tight right now. Tight? What do you mean? You're rich now, aren't you? Yes, but I also have bills to pay. Don't string me along, Claire. If you don't want to help, just say it. I don't like being lied to. Claire had heard enough. The entitlement in her mother's tone was unbearable. She ended the call and blocked the number. She knew then that her mother's apology wasn't sincere. She was only trying to manipulate her for money and make her feel indebted. Claire didn't mind helping people, but she couldn't extend generosity to those who saw her only as a resource. She still longed to rebuild her relationship with her family, but how could she when they remained so toxic? In the end, Claire chose to give herself space. She didn't want to be rushed into anything. She wanted to focus on herself and grow her wealth further. She no longer felt the need to cling to the idea of family, especially when it was clear that all they really wanted from her was money. If that was all they valued, she no longer saw the point. Instead, she cherished her bond with Alexis and Aunt Barbara. They had become her real family, the ones who loved her without condition. Years passed. Claire eventually met a man who truly loved and respected her. At age 31, they got married. She invited her entire family to the wedding. Only Karen, Aaron, and Michael showed up. The three of them tearfully apologized for the past. Claire cried too. She had waited so long to hear those words, but Diane and Erica, still too proud, refused to attend. Their hearts remained hardened, still full of resentment. By now, Claire had made peace with the fact that not everyone would come around. There was nothing more she could do for people who chose bitterness over healing. In the years that followed, Claire gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. Her joy multiplied. She continued to grow her wealth with her husband. They became true partners in life and business. With her earnings, Claire founded an organization that supported underprivileged youth who couldn't afford education. She offered scholarships to students so they could pursue their dreams, just as she once wished someone had done for her. It was her way of giving back for all the blessings God had given her. The end. Thank you all for watching. This is Mr. Hope. Blessings to you all.